Will. This is the second take of our intro for the podcast. You're listening to the RAW'dCAST right now. That stands for Raw, Russell and Will Podcast. Today we're talking about music of 2015. 2K15, great year for music.
Particularly with the rap scene this year, a lot of different artists are really pushing the boundary and pushing what they usually do and kind of going for a darker or just a little different sound.
We're doing a top 5, and we're just going to kind of go back and forth with my list and Will's list, and kind of compare what we agree on, what we disagree on, and stuff like that. So let's get straight to it. Earl Sweatshirt. I don't like shit. I don't go outside.
I don't go outside. I never seen him go outside once.
We were talking about the Mac Miller album just now. How he's kind of emo, how he's kind of dark. Earl Sweatshirt is taking that idea, that aesthetic, to a whole other level.
Yeah, that person who stays inside, like depressed or like just feeling, like being in the feelings and like not liking shit, just hating everything. And honestly, that kind of vibe comes through the album. Like a lot of grime. I mean, it's a really grimy,
gritty,
dark.
That's the word I use.
Yeah, it's gritty. I mean, if I can just, I'm kind of taking your album here, but for me, the song with Knockel, DNA, yeah, that shit was crazy. Even Knockel's
That's my favorite song in there too.
Even Knockel's verse, it actually wasn't that bad. Talking about one of his friends dying, talking about not having
his brother dying.
His brother dying?
I mean, I don't know if it was his
biological,
literal brother or
like
spiritual brother.
Yeah,
brother from other mother.
And the song, I think it was Wool with Vince Staples. I think it was the last track.
Yeah.
That shit was. I
love the intro song. I think Earl always has good intro songs.
He does. I mean, this is on my list as well. This is actually my next song, so I can talk about it as well. This for me was Earl not pulling any punches on his last on Doris. It was a darker album, but it kind of brought like a kind of circusy feel with the Tyler songs. With Woe felt a little like ridiculous, juxtaposed to all those
compared
songs.
Yeah, let's talk about his old album. Like his old album sounds pop compared to this.
Yeah,
and it was not near that.
No, his old album, yeah, it sounded like some Katy Perry shit compared to this.
On Twitter, he's kind of crazy. He's kind of out there, but he is so gritty, and his flow. There's not, even when he first came out with Odd Future and people didn't know who he really was, they were just kind of, hearing these few songs. His flow is just crazy. His wordplay, like he has the wordplay of a Wu-Tang old classic OG rapper. Like he's like someone that's been in the game for a minute.
Well, I read an article that described the way he spits. It's like he hurdles and pushes over syllables. Like he's like manhandling syllables as he's spitting them. Like the way he spits is like he has such control. I think he has such control over both his verse and it's the way he's spitting it. It just sounds like you can feel it. You can feel when he's spitting.
He had a lot of cool motifs. I mean, they're all emo, but his grandma passing away, his drug addiction. I think he's gotten better about
dealing with like day-to-day kind of stuff with celebrity and like things that are expected of him and that sort of thing, which can kind of be sort of universal for some of these rappers. He's still spitting those bars and he's still coming with like really hard material, even while talking about like some really kind of depressing topics.
And Earl's is another rapper that's super, super young. My one critique for this album, if Earl can kind of spread his kind of go out farther in the subject matter, he has so much crazy potential for future projects. And he's doing all his own production on this.
Yep.
Atmospheric beats, just I don't know, how would you describe them? Dark atmospheric beats.
Yeah. They're like those cellar beats. I feel like I'm in a cellar listening to these.
Don't go in the basement kind of beats.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just see him in a dark room for hours, just staring at a computer screen, just making those shits on the keyboard. And there's news. He said he should be changing his name, his rap moniker.
That'll be interesting.
To distance himself away from Odd Future. I'm not sure how well that's gonna work out for distancing himself, but I'm interested to see what he's gonna bring as a new rap moniker. He might go with his old name of Sly Tendencies. but we'll have to see for that.
And that was your number 5.
That was my 5, yeah.
Earl Sweatshirt. I don't like shit. I don't go
I
outside.
ain't never been outside.
My number 5. This is an album. This is a debut album
Ruh-roh.
by an artist.
Okay.
A group artist.
Ooh.
They are known for radio smashes,
Okay.
and that group.
Wait a minute.
Is,
This got this high.
It's not just a name. It's a movement. It's Sremmurd. It's Rae Sremmurd. Yes.
I'm a hater right now.
This is my number 5. I don't think this was in 2015, but when I first heard No Type, that's when I knew. That's when I knew Rae Sremmurd had something going on. No Flex Zone. When No Flex Zone came out, they were playing that at all the football games.
Played everywhere. God damn. That was.
No Flex.
You couldn't go
I feel so
anywhere.
old now.
You couldn't go anywhere without hearing
But
No
the
Flex
other
Zone
songs, this is a short track list. 11 songs.
all bangers.
But
Most
they're
bangers.
all bangers, and they all are so modern in lingo and the vibe. They're not very okay. Rae Sremmurd is not lyrical. They're not saying anything super deep. But if you're going, there's two types of when it comes to especially hip hop. You can go with lyrical, but then you can just go with feel good
Vibe.
dance music, and there's nothing wrong with that. If there's a good aesthetic and feel to it, there's nothing wrong with a song that you just want to groove, you want to dance to, get hyped to. There's nothing wrong with that. And Rae Sremmurd does that very good. Sway Lee, who's the other guy? What's the other
Yeah,
guy's
all I
name?
know is Sway Lee. Slim Jimmy.
I knew that. Sway Lee and Slim Jimmy, they're getting features on other songs individually. Let's just go through the song. Lit like Bic. Lit like Bic. Throw some more. You got the Nicki Minaj Young Thug feature. That's just like that was the big. There was very few features on here. It was great. And Safe Sex Paychecks. But Rae Sremmurd is talking about putting out another album. They're just putting out bangers. That's what they're doing, and I appreciate it.
They put an album of singles out, pretty much.
Yeah, they put an album of straight singles, all fire, and for me, I don't get tired of them. Compared to like what a Time to Be Alive, these songs are actually
these are more engaging.
More
these songs are
substance.
more engaging. There's an actual dynamic between the two of them. I don't know what Slim Jimmy does too often. I can't tell if Slim Jimmy does rap in these songs. It's not just Sway Lee. Then I can tell the voices apart.
You know what I appreciate from Rae Sremmurd?
What?
Remember how in Digimon they used to rock like in anime they be rocking like
Those
the
goggles and shit? Yeah.
These dudes be wearing the ski goggles out like they're just like cool, man.
These
It's so
Naruto
funny.
fans.
It's so funny. But what were you gonna say about this? Why are you upset that this is so high up?
This album is by no means. This is very petty. This by no means beats out Good AM as quality for a quality.
For me, it
album.
does.
I mean, So this is all personal.
Subjective.
I was kind of slower to get onto Rae Sremmurd. No Flex Zone wasn't the greatest song to me when it first came out.
It was their breakout hit. Come on.
Lit Like Bic was a great song. I like that a lot. Throw some more, obviously.
No Type is timeless.
No Type is definitely dope. Honestly, for me, I can't hate on them because you got Mike Will making all their beats, and I'm a huge proponent of production. They have a very dialed in style and niche market that they can just.
It's
really,
not niche. It's not niche, dude.
It's club bangers.
That's a very wide spectrum of people.
Well, the thing is,
this is a radio.
This is something
that everyone can like.
These are all
No
very
Flex
similar
Zone.
songs.
Dude, old ladies at the game, when I was at UGA, old ladies knew the No Flex Zone song, bro.
That's just called pop culture. It's not
a niche, is what I'm trying to say.
What I'm saying is that the type of
niche.
music it is. I mean, whether it transcends that music or not, it's still a club banger song. And club bangers usually do transcend the club.
Okay, exactly.
In the
Which
club,
transcends
it's
fact that
pop.
transcending
It's
is
a
more
pop
than
club
a niche.
banger.
Pop is short for popular.
Yeah.
Which is saying it's not just a niche. It's popular amongst a huge people.
It can be a niche sound to be popular. Future has a niche sound. It's not like it's a very wide range of different sounds.
He's not a pop artist.
He's a pop artist. Are you serious?
I wouldn't say Future is on the pop level of Rae Sremmurd.
Future is way bigger.
Rae Sremmurd?
Future is way bigger than Rae Sremmurd.
As far as songs.
He's popular though.
As far as songs,
he's popular.
Nah, dude.
If you poll people and said, do you like Rae Sremmurd more or Future more?
No Flex Zone or what?
What I'm
Compare a
saying?
song to No Flex Zone and ask the general public if they
No,
heard it.
we said Future versus Rae Sremmurd. If you ask someone,
When it comes to the hip hop community, for me, I'm gonna say that Future is more in the niche hip hop audience. You know, more people are gonna recognize Future, and Rae Sremmurd as well. But if you're asking white people, we're asking non-traditional, non-hip hop listeners, I think they're gonna know more of the Rae Sremmurd songs. They're gonna know No Flex Zone. They're gonna, she's dancing like a strip. They're gonna know those songs, dude.
what I'm saying is they're mainly club banger songs that became more popular. But I can appreciate more something with a little more range, something with a little more variety, and perhaps just a little bit more, I guess, personality to it. These felt kind of
so much personality.
No,
Rae Sremmurd has so much personality.
Okay.
That's why they're so great.
See, the thing is, they have personality. That's more of charisma. They have more charisma than personality. I feel like it's not very
same shit.
It's not really. No, charisma is more. They have energy. I think their personality is just that they're lit. I mean, we're having a good time.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So, but it's not. But
there's
there's nothing that's making them look inward. There's
substance.
It's a lot of food on the plate, but you're not getting full off of it.
For what they're putting out, for what they're delivering, their product, it's great.
For what they're doing,
all agree?
yeah. For what they're doing, they're doing a good job.
Exactly.
Yeah. For what they're doing a great job at it. They have exactly it down. They have it dialed in. You really can't take an L with what they're doing. If they keep doing what they're doing and you keep making the kind of songs they're making, you can't take L's.
Number 4.
We
got hype just then. We had a little bit of controversy.
Yeah.
You know, that's where it gets interesting.
Number 4 was a great album that ended up being slightly disappointing because I thought it was going to be even greater, but it was still great. It was a difference between an 8.5 and a 9 for me. It's your boy with the money sign at the end of his first name, Travis Scott. Rodeo. Almost said radio. Yeah, but Rodeo. Man, what?
Rodeo.
All writing, so they're all cruising songs. The beats are amazing. Say what you want about his offstage antics.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He called his fans fags. He kicked the cameraman off the stage because he's wearing cargo shorts. I mean, a lot of he's really embracing this yay role. I mean, before we get into him too much, I feel like he was brought onto good music. This is something that
yeah, if you don't know much about Travis Scott, he is a producer for good music, which is Kanye's level, but a rapper for
T.I. in the Hustle game.
Grand Hustle.
Who
T.I. does he does kind of like narration on the Rodeo on his album.
Kind of like the Kid Cudi, was it Man on the Moon, where he has the Common? He has Common kind of.
We won't talk about Kid Cudi on this podcast.
Jesus Christ. Talking about features, man. Rae Sremmurd, Justin Bieber,
Rae Sremmurd,
Toro y Moi
on the indie Filipinos. Shout out.
Look, man, there are a lot of great songs. I mean, Antidote, Maria, I'm Drunk. There's so many. You can go on and.
Don't you open up that window. Don't you let out that antidote. Popping pills is all we know.
You get to all these bangers with so many great features. And that Toro y Moi song, Flying High.
I'll be flying high.
The beat is the thing is these beats are so engaging and interactive with you. You feel like you're in the song with them. And Antidote, what I like about Antidote is the first like 3/4 of the song it has this one feel to it. It's like kind of that sing-songy
Antidote
thing.
was the best banger of the year. If we're talking about turn-up songs where you drinking with your boys, where you trying to get down, you driving to go to the club, you play Antidote, and that is the turn-up.
Popping pills is all we know. Yeah,
Smokey at the Night Show.
I mean, yeah, Travis Scott had a lot of great. These are all really great just cruising songs. You can listen to these almost any time. The one thing I will say about this is that I hated Piss on Your Grave.
Piss on Your Grave.
It was a stupid, bad, It did not belong on this album at all. It was a throwaway from Swish.
Travis Scott, this album in general is very, very
It's
punk rock. That's kind of the vibe that Travis Scott is going for. He's a rebel. This
isn't really a punk rock album for me. He's a
rebel.
This feels like a Kid Cudi.
He's rebellious.
This is a Kid Cudi trying to be Kanye West album to me.
Travis is very influenced by both Kid Cudi and Kanye.
This is a Kid Cudi's impression of a Kanye West album.
Let me do it. The Rodeo, I like. Okay, a lot of production. You know, Travis knows a lot about production, and the thing about this album is that the beats are so futuristic. You know what I mean? He's doing things that people aren't used to, like these sounds. I mean, how would you describe them? Because you're more on the production side.
I would describe them honestly. There's just so much space. I feel like there's so much space in the on the tracks, which is you can get that by using a lot of reverb, which he does do. Heavy kind of bass. I feel like what he does is he uses all the space and all the available, I guess, room for the sounds, so that each sound it has a purpose and comes in as rich as possible. I feel like it's partially the mixing of it, but he does know a lot about production.
It's sometimes dark. It's sometimes atmospheric.
Yeah, sometimes it is kind of dark, but he can pick it up. The thing is,
and he's very gritty.
Even when the beats are darker, he can still have a more kind of upbeat. The song itself will be dark.
He's not dark in the Earl Sweatshirt way, like we were saying. He's dark.
It's like a visceral sort of like.
It's like goth punk. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like it's the vibe. That's the vibe that I get. Not maybe that goth, but punk.
More like gothic in the sense of like
darkness.
Big like black mansions. You're walking up to it and you hear this shit.
Let's talk about the features. Quavo. I'm gonna whistle list them off. Quavo. 3500, Future and 2 Chainz, Juicy J, The Weeknd, Sway Lee, Chief Keef, Kanye, Bieber, and Young Thug on the same song.
Yeah, the Young Thug. Let's talk about that one for a second.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Maria, I'm Drunk.
I'm so mad about this song because it's the only song not on Spotify.
Yeah, Maria, I'm Drunk was the second best song on this album. Could be the first if I didn't love.
Antidote?
No, actually, no. It could be the first if I didn't love. The Flying, not Flying Lotus, but the Tori Moss song,
Flying High.
Flying High.
I like that immediately first, but because it's just the hook's so good.
The hook is
but
great.
when I listen to overall,
and the production is great too.
I think the Justin Bieber song Maria I'm Drunk is one of the best songs too. It might be my favorite if not for Antidote, but Justin Bieber went in.
He did. The thing is. You have to trust that Justin Bieber knows what he's doing.
Beats is so accepted by the rap community. It's hilarious.
Nah, dude, he knows what he's doing, and he's doing his shit right. Honestly, man, that verse was great. His whole
honestly, Bieber's album would probably be on my list, except I haven't had enough time to listen to it yet. A lot of these songs that came out in this very, very end of the month, I unfortunately wasn't able to put on the list.
We can talk about
when it comes to critiquing albums, you want to be able to listen to it for a little while and give it some time. Let it sink in.
What do you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean? When you nod your head yes, but you really mean no.
But you really mean no. What do you mean? What do you think about the whole two-parter songs? That's been very popular this year, and Travis did that so many times.
Let's talk about that because you know who really may not have pioneered that, but was doing that way like years and years ago. Tyler the Creator, VCR/Wheels.
I agree with that.
That was on Bastard. He's been doing that for a while. Analog had that.
So it's kind of just like the beat switch.
Fish, yeah, beat switches, yeah. So you'll have it's pretty much like
you have a song and midway it changes to another song.
Yeah, it changes to another song, but it's done in such a way that it sounds like it's just like smoothly transitioning to another part of the song, like Act 1/Act 2 of a song, but they're really two different songs. And even with Maria I'm Drunk, the beginning is like, trust me, I don't know.
Let's get drunk.
But the thing is, those are most likely two separate songs that like probably the Trust Me, I Don't Know song was probably a full song, a full like 3-4 minute song that he liked, but didn't make the album. But it sounded so good that it could have been just like, alright, let's start at the beginning of Maria I'm Drunk, and it worked. I mean, it sounds like you're talking to someone, like you're talking to like a girl saying, "Hey, trust me, I don't know what happened," and then you get into a song about Maria on drugs, talking about he's trying to find the weed, but he's been drinking all day.
I think a good way to describe it is it's Yeezus, but more street. It's a more street Yeezus, not all the like crazy dissonance to it.
I can see
You know
that.
what I mean? It's a more club. It's a club-friendly Yeezus almost.
I would probably put it at a more.
Because it's dark and it's experimental.
I wouldn't put it at experimental. I'd probably call it a more.
Future. It's so future.
Yeah, it's more future. No, this comparison I was gonna say would be kind of weird. I'll say it's more like a Kid Cudi's Rim Life.
I don't listen to Kid Cudi, so I wouldn't know. But
Kid Cudi was dope for a while until Satellite Flight.
I was saying how Travis can be very lyrical and then he can be more melodic. But I do really like those lyrical songs. I like the last track. Is it the last track? Apple Pie?
Apple Pie, yep.
Those apple pie, mama. He waited till the end to get
those
deep.
Pianos.
But he got very deep, and I love that he was getting introspective.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for with Rae Sremmurd. They're not very introspective. Yeah.
So my 4 is an album we already talked about, which was Joey Badass's Before the Money. So we're just gonna slip on. I love that album. So I love Joey Badass, and I love where he went this year. So yeah, going to Will's number 3.
My number 3 is from an artist that I kind of got onto a little bit later. Make him no surprise to everyone, maybe except for Russell here. But if you can read this, you already know it's too late. You couldn't go more than about 2 minutes in your car without hearing a different song from this album.
That's just I'm gonna search up
go through the
track
list
thing.
because
it's amazing.
But I mean, you couldn't go anywhere with
66666 with that.
Gunshot mean. Yes, sir. Drake.
Everyone knows this one.
I didn't get into Drake until Nothing Was the Same. Honestly, I mean obviously his singles. I was there. I was there for the you the best, you the fucking best. But I feel like for me, I didn't like Take Care all that much. I guess I thought it was a little bit too soft. I wasn't really a huge Drake head really until Tuscan Leather. Tuscan Leather changed the game for me, Drake-wise. But this...
Nothing Was the Same.
Yeah, Nothing Was the Same, yeah. But for this, if you can read this, this was crazy. This had disses everywhere. It felt like such a...
Why did I like this album? It dropped out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
This was Drake's year.
No, it was Beyonce did it first, but he did this second, I think. This crazy secret whatever drop, sudden drop.
This is probably the first major rap album that's done like this. It's a mixtape, but it's an album.
Yeah, it was a mixtape that he sold, but it was an album
let's talk
to get him out of his contract with Cash Money. He had a 4-album deal with Baby, didn't he?
That's the whole Lil Wayne beef with Birdman. And they're saying that he needs to put out X amount of albums to get off of the contract.
Yeah, you have a certain amount of albums that you get signed for, and you have to do your stuff. So if he released it as a mixtape and didn't sell it, he still have another album with them. But
that's another podcast. He has this radio platform now, where he can do anything with releases. He can drop anything at any time. It's crazy how the Beyonce thing has just changed everything about music.
Yeah.
And now Drake's doing it where he has a platform where he can just get this. It's like what we're doing right now. He can put out the thing at any time. He doesn't have to market it. People are ready to go and listen. I'm a motherfucking legend. Energy. I got motherfucking energy. 10 bands, 50 bands. Like you know every hit. But you know every hook.
You know every song. Even, I mean, let's see, which one is other than the Winter Night interlude, which one is the least memorable for me? I mean...
I don't like the Party Next Door. I'm used to, because that was on Lil Wayne's mixtape already.
I'm trying to think, I mean...
And those were feature songs. Really, the songs were the best when he was on his own. And he held every song on his own.
Yeah.
40 killed the production. This is the best production that 40's done, in my opinion.
I can't agree with that. This is more of his best like pop production, but I think that Nothing Was the Same was his best.
Dude,
Nothing Was the Same.
Nothing Was the Same was my #1 album last year. If you remember when we did the list that we didn't release,
I don't
that
remember.
was my #1. And when I heard this is what happens with every Drake album. The last album for me is trash. It's like almost trash every time he drops another one. It's just so sonically better.
He has a very great I guess turnaround for his progression.
He knows how to get to his audience.
Yeah.
And the thing with Drake is everything he says becomes the lingo of the rap culture.
Everything he says can be a meme. Can be memeified. They weren't like the most crazy like I guess layered like big beats. They were kind of simple.
They felt big to me.
They felt kind of simple to me, honestly. Not simple as in bad or like or with like very little thought. I think they were straightforward beats. Straightforward.
Yeah.
Straightforward.
They're stripped down, but they're still very loud and in your face.
They're simplistic, but they're engaging.
Exactly.
Is what it is, and that's what I think rap is about. Like when it first came through, it was looped or it was chopped up jazz samples with drum loops. And so it had a good crisp sound, but it sounded kind of basic. Well, not basic, but simple. See, basic and simple are two very different things. You can be simple yet sophisticated.
Yeah, so this is kind of going back to that classic rap, just straight
exactly.
rapping.
This is like
the beat's made for rapping.
This is like having one nice chalice of wine versus like a bunch of liquor on the table or 40s with the homies. Like you'll get drunk either way, perhaps, but this is a 48 Sauvignon Blanc.
I still remember, dude, when like Drake first started popping off, and like there were so many people that didn't want to jump on because they just thought he was a pussy. He's so emotional. He's singing on everything, and this is the like now you cannot not. You're not even. People aren't even allowed to not like Drake anymore. It seems.
You can't say rap without saying you can't say you don't like Drake and then say you like rap.
Yeah,
like that's which is a weird. It's kind of a sad place to be in, but I understand it.
He deserves it in a lot of ways.
Drake has, in a way, with the downfall of Lil Wayne's lyricism, Drake rose to power. The thing for me with Drake is he was kind of singing a little too much for me earlier on. He was singing a little bit too much. I mean, I like R&B. I can appreciate R&B. I mean, I love the internet. I love a lot of like even obscure kind of things, sort of. See, I'm more into like that kind of band feel. I better get your lovin'. I better get your heart.
What is like that song?
Not really all that much.
That one was for the bitches.
That video was kind of cool. You never know who did she shoot? Who did she shoot?
I don't remember that video that well.
He was like in Colombia, I'm guessing.
He's like in the jungle?
Yeah, he's in the jungle.
I kind of remember it. I get a jungle vibe.
Some like coke kind of place. I think it was a coke kind of plantation sort of thing. With this sexy ass bitch. Yeah, who was but the I guess the Pablo Escobar kind of guy who was there, the main dude. It was his girl that Drake was fucking.
Yeah.
But like he like gets called into his tent or whatever, and the girl like goes up behind the dude with a gun, and you don't know if he shoots him or Drake.
Now that everyone likes him, like he finally got a chance to show off his lyrical, straight rapping ability on this one. He's already gone to the he's the introspective guy. Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, super introspective. This is the one where he's just spitting bars.
Which I think can also be contributed to it being just an album to get out of his cash money deal. But that doesn't take away from it.
And it doesn't take away from the production or just his lyrical
the difference between
stamina.
See, the thing is, this doesn't have the same kind of feel as it doesn't have the feel of a serious album, but it has a much more serious. And I can take it much more seriously than What a Time.
He's throwing a lot of shots.
Exactly.
And they're all subliminal.
Not really. He said, I got a lot of niggas I gotta pretend that I like. I gotta act like I like. But my acting days are over.
Who's he talking about though?
Birdman, for sure.
Oh,
for sure.
Fuck, you're right.
For sure. Yeah,
you're right.
That's all about him.
This one, I like. You know what song I really like? That's underrated.
What?
Well, it kind of got annoying because I played it so many times, but it was "You and the Six," the mom song.
No, that
what
was.
do you think about him calling his mom girl?
Yo, that was the deepest, most introspective. That was for a minute. No, for
that was
a minute.
my favorite song.
That was my favorite song. Exactly. He was getting aggressive. He even said, "I'm sorry for getting so aggressive with you, mama."
It's weird because that was the hardest song to a mom. You know, Tupac had a song to his mom.
Hey, was that Hey Mama?
Kanye had a song to his mom.
No, Ye had Hey Mama. Wasn't it?
Yeah. But
Chance had a song.
He was like really like rapping
He said,
to his mom.
I pulled a knife out. Something, mama. I'm Game of Thrones with it, mama. I said.
Game of Thrones.
He said, I'm Game of Thrones with it, mama. I said, Drake. Okay. Honestly,
everything Drake does is in the blogs, man.
You can sum it up by saying it's a Drake album, and then it's top 3 of the year.
6.
Wait, what's your 3? Is that your 3?
What was that? That was your what?
That's my 3.
That's your 3? My 3 was Rodeo by Travis Scott.
Mm-hmm.
So we already talked about that. We're getting to the top now.
But my number 2 is an album we already talked about, which I could talk about for days and days.
We'll touch on it a little bit, maybe.
It's the young, melanin, challenged young man.
Mac. You put Mac Miller.
Number 2,
Damn.
Good AM.
Number 2.
Good AM. I'm sorry. If we've had a conversation about hip hop in the last maybe 4 or 5 months, maybe even the last year probably, to an extent, you know how I feel about Mac Miller. It took me a minute to get into him, honestly, but like I said earlier, since Macadelic, I've loved what he's putting out. Faces changed the game. It really made me think. It made me take him a lot more seriously. In rotation, he's in my top 5 because I won't even say it's because of this album just by itself. He has a large catalog of different things, but Good AM was a huge step of progression from Watch Movies with the Sound Off, which I also loved. I love that album a lot. Great beats, Flying Lotus is on it. The thing about Mac Miller is we had those drug motifs and that kind of thing, but a lot of his songs were just sad.
Yeah.
Like he flows, he goes the fuck
like
in.
mid-career.
Yeah, but like he has a lot of sad songs. I think Good AM, apart from the number 1 album, which is only because it's so different, but Good AM had the best production for me.
I would definitely not agree with that, but he's got the production on lock.
Followed very closely by Rodeo, but for me, I think this album could have been the best if it weren't for the best person in hip hop right now.
Okay, let's not even talk about
it. What was your number 2?
Hold on, let me say something about Mac real quick.
Okay.
Back to Mac. The reason Good AM is my number 7 was on my number 7 and wasn't in my top 5 is because Mac, he's still growing.
100 G's in my jeans, I'm a genius.
Mac is still growing, and right now, this is not. He could have more oomph in this album. It was a good album. It was a great album. It could still have more oomph.
He had oomph everywhere.
Dude, he did.
100 grandkids break the law.
But I like to think when I'm talking about albums, I'm thinking about the whole thing together as a body of work. And for me, he's still getting to that top 5 album type. And he's not there yet.
But the body.
He will be.
The body of work was on Selena Gomez. If I'm telling you, man.
Just compare this album to Selena Gomez.
Yes.
Okay. There it is. Okay. My number 2. We already talked about it. Drizzy. If you're reading this,
it's too damn late.
It's too late.
If you're watching this, you're right on time.
666 wallets.
Wallets here.
Dun dun
dun
dun. Number
Gunshot
1.
mean rewind.
We're back to the number 1. Okay.
Number 1 was
we're
at the
say
same time.
I count 5. 5, 4, 2, 3,
3,
2, 1. To Pimp a Butterfly
by Kendrick Lamar.
K-Dot.
Random. No, but no, this was
hands down.
Put your fucking hands the fuck down because this is the top album of 2015.
Okay.
If you have any
Can we just call out the people that don't like this album and wouldn't put this in their top 5 at least, at most? Dude, if you don't like this album, you're like You're dissing hip hop in a lot of ways. You're bringing it down.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I can understand why someone would not like this album. I grew up. I mean, I don't know how much like older R&B and like I guess Motown and like that Rick James sort of.
I'm an Asian kid, but when you talk to like you, right? Kids grow up on a lot of kids grow up on these kind of sounds.
Yeah, I feel like some other kids don't though. Like there's some kids.
And those are the kids that cannot appreciate this sometimes. A lot of those kids are the kids that don't appreciate this.
I feel like he did this album. He could have put out a more modern beat over like Couture beats and that kind of thing. He put out an album.
He already did that so many times.
That's what I'm saying though. Is that what is there to prove in that? He showed that he could put out an album of bangers. He showed he could do a concept album very well and make an album that sounds like a movie. But with this was an album for the old heads. I feel like he became an instant OG. These sounds are sounds. I mean, I go to my grandparents' house. My grandpa would have these sorts of songs like blasting, like, and he had a huge ass stereo system. Like he had this shit blasting from like noon to like 7:30 at night. James Brown songs. Get On Up all the fucking time. Rick James, different sorts of sounds. Isley Brothers, which was the sample for
and then he changed the track for the album. I came out as a single so much earlier than the album. People were on the fence about it, and when he was released on the album, it was a totally different. He made it to sound like it was live. He made it sound like that he was like inciting like. He was talking to the audience in the live audience. It was crazy.
Yeah, and honestly, with this album, Kendrick knew that if it wasn't gonna be like if it's not gonna be a challenge, then why do it? And this was definitely a challenge that he put for himself that he absolutely like obliterated.
Kendrick brought the best production and the best rapping. You know, we already know that Kendrick can rap on any beat. When Good Kid, Mad City came out, every rapper of every style and every type of rap had a feature on him. So we already knew that he's very versatile. So he had to change it up. And after Good Kid, Mad City, everyone was wondering what happened. Surf, which was a very experimental, social experiments album. Mm-hmm. What did they do? They brought out instrumentation. They brought out live instruments, live band type feel. And that's what Kendrick did on such a bigger scale.
See, the thing about Surf is that we're looking at that as a chance album.
I mean, he played at the National Symphony.
Well, Kendrick had a lot more synth. He had a lot more synth and like computer-generated sounds on his album, which allowed him to do a little more things too.
Opening up. Oh my God, my favorite. What's your favorite track?
For Sale was a great song.
For Sale,
You think
For Free was my favorite song.
Yeah, I like.
He was just like it felt like a scat, like he was scatting in rap.
That was so short. The video was nice. It was really short. I like that. I like the high pitch. Cause I want you.
This dick ain't free. And people, one of my friends hates that song. And I was like, dude.
It's not as great. It's not as great as a lot of people put it as. I mean,
nah, dude. It's not. I love that song. There's not a song like that ever. Okay, but
probably is. I'm
sure
you can find something like that with.
Can we talk about that concept? Okay, with Good Kid, Mad City. Why did everyone love that album? Because it was a what's the word I'm looking for?
Concept album.
A concept album. It had a very distinct plot line, and where we can all see where the conflict was, the intro, beginning, and end.
It was a story. People like stories.
Yeah.
People like stories.
So we were all wondering, is he gonna do that again? And he didn't really do that, but he made such a huge motif to where it had more consistency than just a regular album, but it wasn't a story arc. But everything was related.
For me, I feel like with Good Kid, Mad City, it was a story of him and his environment getting to the point of a butterfly.
Yeah.
And then in this album, it's a story of him versus like an internal kind of struggle to like stay true to himself, not let Lucy, meaning the industry, get to him. So like before, it was getting to that point, and his interaction with his environment, and then and on Butterfly, it's more of an internal struggle between himself, and then the industry like tell him all these things and like tell him he can do all this. I can do all this stuff for you, that kind of thing. And he's saying, "Look, this is who I am right here."
With this,
you can't pimp me.
He could get away with so much more. He could say a lot more without having a story arc. Like
he said, King Kunta.
Yeah,
King Kunta. The title itself. People haven't even seen Roots, and they can feel and they can understand.
He was so racy, like talking about nappy-headed kid, monkey face. Oh man,
monkey face hoes again.
I should be saying that, but I mean, like,
yeah,
you know the idea. You know what I mean? Like, he's really getting deep in there. He doesn't care what he's saying now. The thing with Good Kid, Mad City is, you know, it's like a story with a very important, with a very important moral. And with this one, it's more of, I'm just gonna straight talk to you. I have a message that needs to be announced, and I'm gonna broadcast this right now.
They both kind of feel like parables to me. Like one, Good Kid, Mad City is like a parable with a story, and then this is more like
this is more like you listen to the first song.
It's like a sermon.
It's more like a live performance. Like it opens up like the you can like almost feel the curtains opening up on that first track. You know what I mean?
Which kind of goes with the whole. With the real concept here isn't the story. It's the building poem that's going on.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
It's the building poem that with each new song that another line is added to it.
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't, you've had a couple months to get on this.
So no spoiler alert.
If you haven't listened to the song, if you haven't listened to the whole album,
shame on you.
And not notice that he adds another line or two each time.
There's an ongoing poem. Wait, let's see if we can do it.
I can't do it.
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. I don't know. I went searching in the dark room for answers. The evils of Lucy were all around me. Ah! If you listen to each line, it really transitions into the next song.
It does.
Perfectly.
It does. Yeah.
Perfectly.
It's as if he made the poem first, then the songs.
And it's crazy.
Not the poem to fit the songs.
Because like, especially at the beginning, there's so much instrumentation. There's so much like loudness and like just like sounds everywhere, right? In your face, for free. It's like this dick ain't free. Like his like flows like that, and it's like there's so much to catch. But then he goes into this poem, and it's just like spoken word. You know what I mean? It makes you pause and think about what you were just listening to.
These songs aren't just like bangers, or just like they're not just him going hard on these kind of like soul kind of funk beats. Not really soul, kind of like funky beats.
It's soul.
He's saying so much between the two songs that are back to back. How Much a Dollar Cost, which is a hugely I think important song, and then Complexion with Rhapsody. Rhapsody is crazy. She is stupid lyrical.
I'm an Asian dude, so I want to hear your perspective on how people say, especially when it came out, people were saying this album's so black. People, this, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, all I can say is yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what else is there to say about it? It's a huge homage to the old heads, the people who came before him. I mean, after Good Kid, Mad City came out, he spent a ton. I mean, even before then, he spent a ton of time with Dre, Snoop. He's a West Coast legend. He's what, 27, 28? He's a West Coast legend already.
He's such a great voice for right now. Is that he is conscious music. He's conscious rap that goes hard. He's doing what Talib Kweli and Common were all doing, but people accept him more. You know what I mean? On another level.
He's J. Cole. If J. Cole could dial down his Drake tip. Because
a lot of people are gonna be mad we don't got J. Cole on our list.
J. Cole, he goes hard, and he's more like conscious rap. But he talks about, he's on his Drake a little bit too much. He talks about girls. I think it's not bad talking about girls. I mean, girls are...
You know why Kendrick's such a good... You know why it's because Kendrick has a girlfriend. He married it, like, he's like with his like high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
So he's not distracted by that, so he can get to the real stuff.
He can get what he wants to because, he got what he got. Like I said before, like the whole like theme of this album about like staying true to yourself and staying really not just staying true to yourself, but staying true to your art. Because if all you're about is making money, then staying true to yourself by altering your art because it brings you more money. But I think it's more important to stay true. I mean, depending on who you are, staying true to your actual art. That's what he's saying here. Don't let all the promises and all of the words trip you up that you hear. Like once you get to a certain point, like you have to stay true to what got you there. Remember why you started, and continue with that sort of with that mindset, because there are going to be different sources and different people that come into your life that will want to change and capitalize on what you've already started. It all comes down to like the second to last song, where he's saying, I love myself and I'm not going to be changed by the industry or by any of these voices in my head. Like, he understands it and he can appreciate it. Like, you can live at the mall, motherfucker. What you want? You a house or a car? But he's gonna say he don't get that stuff, but he's gonna stay himself. Kendrick works as an artist because not only does it sound good, not only is it saying something, but it's also you learn. You can grow from it.
And there's so much thought that went into every little detail.
People appreciate.
You're talking about selling out.
Mm-hmm.
The whole idea of To Pimp a Butterfly, that's exactly what it is. If we talk about the end, he says to Tupac, "Is the caterpillar is a prisoner to the streets that conceived it. Its only job is to eat or consume everything around it." So it's essentially like being true to yourself, not selling out. When you become a butterfly, it's when you're showing your true colors.
Yep.
And this was actually revealed by Dead End Hip Hop, a YouTube review group of guys. They actually discovered why Kendrick agreed. He confirmed it. Was that the reason? If you it's to pimp a butterfly, right? But to pimp a caterpillar, if you make it an acronym, 2PAC, it's Tupac. And then Tupac comes at the end of the thing, which is crazy genius the way Kendrick did this. He made it so he's interviewing Pac.
Yep.
And Kendrick says that he's seen Tupac in his dreams. He's met Tupac's ghost, and like this just makes it. He actually brought that element into the album, and that says crazy things about the fact that you can bring the most influential rapper onto your album, essentially as a hologram, and still have everyone love it critically. It just says so much about Kendrick and what he's doing for the game.
Kind of, because I feel like everyone at least references Pac in some way or another. But he actually
interviewed him in his album, dude. Like, that's pretty much bringing on a hologram with your album.
Well, that's the same.
Like reviving them.
Yeah.
And Snoop Dogg with the Slick Rick flow though.
Yeah.
That was epic.
I mean, we do have another podcast about Slick Rick. Slick Rick's my favorite like OG, like 80s 90s rapper. For sure, man. The eye patch.
He's one of the first that actually sounded like Rap Today in a way. A lot of
yep. And we can go all day about that, but I feel like he was one of the first to do it. And then Nas, I think Nas actually birthed the more current sort of rap flow, because everyone was doing that kind of like hippity hoppity 80s sort of thing.
Yeah, before. Slick Rick still has that like almost like. It's the children's story flow.
Yeah, it's really bouncy.
Yeah.
It's really bouncy, and it's not like.
Well, hey, Will, how you doing? The Will Smith thing, right?
Hip hop, you don't stop.
Okay, but we're getting off topic now. I mean, want to wrap up? I think we said a lot. I mean, there's so much more we could say. There's probably a lot we're forgetting about Kendrick's album, but that just comes to show like how.
And that's why it got the #1 spot.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. I hope you agree with us. If you didn't think that To Pimp a Butterfly was the #1, we're actually judging you very hard right now.
If you didn't think that The Good AM was the #2, I'm judging you right now. I'm looking
judging
straight into the Russell right now. But yeah, if you have any sort of thoughts on our lists or any kind of suggestions that you thought was good or any kind of change or anything, let us know in the comments below. But yeah, we appreciate you guys watching the video. If you know anyone who likes 45-minute long videos, let them know to subscribe to our channel with a RAW'dCAST.
Yeah, hit us up. That sounds raw. Russell and Will podcast. The RAW'dCAST.
The RAW'dCAST. Wait! I was gonna do some radio shit, like we're saying all these different like sound bites.
RAW'dCAST.
Oh God, that was raw.
There you go.
And if there's not a better way to end a podcast than that, let me know.
So yeah, 2015 was a great year in music. Next year I'm looking forward to a Kanye album and lots of other stuff, I'm sure. Until then, thanks for listening.
Plastic bag.
Thanks for listening. Have a happy new year.